Speaker Mike Johnson just had a meeting with Trump at Mar-A-Lago, and I've got details. He spills them all in this clip about what they talked about, but it shows they're on the same page, and that's what's most important. I know Marjorie Taylor Greene and he have kind of buried the hatchet on their disagreements, but that's mostly coming from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump saying, hey, you guys get along. We have to plan together. This is what they're talking about as a united front for the Republican Party. Mike Johnson, as Speaker of the House, represents that legislative side of and oversight side of government that has to be united with Trump, along with the Supreme Court. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the Happy Patriots are. I hope you've subscribed. Join us. I'm about to cross the 500,000 subscriber mark, and I want you to be part of our group, part of our team, part of our watchers as we celebrate Trump's getting into office this November. Here's Mike Johnson.
All right, Bill, I think it's a good idea. And that basically is a simple concept. It's that if a president or vice president is challenged in court, in a state court, they would have the right to remove it to a federal court. That's a very common sense notion. It's something that's already in practice for federal judges and members of Congress. It should apply to the executive branch as well.
This is about a law they're trying to pass to keep what happened to Trump in New York from happening again. And the threat is there for Biden. Look, if you're going to allow states to prosecute the president, then states are going to go after Biden. And so he's just saying we want presidents to be able to have the option to go to a federal court instead of a state court.
He did talk about his concern about the lawfare that's been waged against him, and we all know it. And I made the point in my introduction of him that it's backfired fantastically on the Democrat Party and the activists.
Oh, yes. Now, we are happy with the results of it, that it failed, spectacularly backfired. That should be really the title of this whole thing, spectacularly backfired. What does he mean by that? Trump's polls keep going up. The more he was persecuted by the Democrats, and America has bought into that narrative. That is Trump's narrative, not the Democrats' narrative that he is a legit felon.
Who are trying to use our judicial system to exact political vendettas against the primary opponent that they have for the control of the country.
And this is really, I know this is all legal talk by politicians, but this is about branding. I'm saying that Trump's brand won over these lawsuits. Right now, you see the Democrats trying to use branding to say that when you see Biden fumble, that's really fake news, and those are deep fakes of editing and lies. They're sending up some branding to see if you believe it. Do you believe it? Let us know in the comments below.
What we've seen is outrageous, and we've also seen the polling and the fundraising and everything else go in the direction of the target. President Trump has set fundraising records. He raised $53 million in the first 24 hours after the verdict in that terrible, bogus trial in Manhattan.
So the most important identifier of progress is the money that's given to Trump. That is, it unleashed people coming out who were not going to fund him. It's very hard to shake money out of people's pockets. Many people are suffering. Well, now after that lawsuit, it's like everyone came out and started funding him, and the numbers are getting bigger, according to Mike Johnson.
He's announced he's raised over $400 million since the verdict came down, and there's much more to come. And you know why? Because people see that is a threat to our republic. They see that that's a threat to our system of justice, and they want to push back.
So this is what he talked about at Mar-A-Lago. There's some other things that he brought up, but the main thing is that they're fundraising, their branding is working, and now they're united. Mike Johnson is talking about the importance of making sure that we capture the House, including incumbents. Now, a lot of Republicans hate them. They hate the rhinos. They want to get them out or whatever, but you can't win by losing in politics, period. And you need majorities. If you have a majority in the House, you're going to have some rhinos in there, but you need just the heads just to be able to keep your majority so you can conduct the investigations that you want and put together the committees that you want and stay in control of that. It's going to be a terrible win. It's going to be much harder for Trump. We want to help Trump. It's going to be harder for Trump as president if he doesn't have the House on his side with a majority. And that's going to include some incumbents we don't entirely like.
And so, in many ways, President Trump has become a symbol of that, pushing back against corruption, the deep state, the weaponization of the judicial system. And that's a very encouraging development.
Not just a good development, but Trump invented that brand. He's going to end up accidentally backing into this whole thing of reforming America in a way that the mainstream Republicans couldn't even imagine. They couldn't even see the problem because they were part of the problem.
He made the point every time they indicted him, his polls went up. That's right, because people see exactly what's happening here, and we have to fix it, and we will.
So they're going to fix that judicial system. That comes down to the reforms that Trump's going to make when he becomes president, and Mike Johnson's on board with that. He's not in any way fighting Trump. He's staying on Trump's side. So everyone calls him, they call him a rhino, they call him soft, they say they don't trust him, but I've yet to see him do anything where Trump came out against Mike Johnson. It's very important. Trump does call out his enemies. He does call out weaker members on the Republican Party. He has not said anything like that about Mike Johnson.
We have to plan to lead because there's so many problems to fix. And so we're working through that right now. I spend a lot of time talking with President Trump about what happens after the election, and we have to do that. It's our responsibility. I'll be with him again in Mar-A-Lago on Monday. We'll be talking about more of this and some of the races out there.
So this is all what Mike Johnson needs right now is Trump's endorsement of all of his incumbents. He has to get them back into office. And there's a lot of, we just now saw Trump last week shake hands with Mitch McConnell for the first time in 4 years. Look for unity to win. I'm telling you, we have to be big boys about this. I don't like sellouts. I don't like the rhinos either. But the idea that we're going to burn our own party down, to lose majorities to try to win is not how it's going to work. And you'll see Trump not go to war with so many candidates and talk about primarying people. You'll see him support more incumbent Republicans. And he's been playing much more of a pretty standard Republican game. It's not because he's a sellout. It's because he tried it last time and saw what it was like going alone. And he really needs the help of all branches of government if he's going to reform America the way he needs to. Watch for it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you on Team Mike Johnson or are you not? I like to hear from you. I care more about my audience, really, more than all this media that I get from them, because you guys represent the voters. I'm Doug in Exile.